You know, one of the greatest things about owning a shop, let me show you in a second. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. One of the greatest things about owning a shop is everybody else gets to use it.
Got the whole gang.
Hey! Look at that Batsy boy. Eh? We got the whole gang in here. Even Justin came down. Hey, you gonna put a roof on this thing, man?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Damn. What? That car might be making this
All right. On today's agenda, this is an old Z I bought back in the day and sold it to my buddy. He sold it, they wrecked it, and I bought it back. We got a great broken spindle here. I just bought it for a parts car. It was a good price, couldn't beat it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this back on, but this is not even the mission. I just want to get it rolling. That way I could get my S14 on the trailer. That way I could bring it to like start getting it fixed up and stuff like that. So then I'll move the truck. So the mission today is to get the S14 out the backyard. That way I can get it cleaned up and sell it or whatever I gotta do with it. As you can see, it's been sitting a while. So let's get her to the shop, guys. Yikes. So, current condition. Look like this car straight out of Japan. But we got to pull out the backyard. Needs a good wash. She's looking crusty. Is that the clear coat fading? Oh yeah, clear coat's fading. Now we could begin to fix it up and get it all nice.
Trade for Skyline?
Trade for Skyline. I would trade for Skyline. All right. I really didn't get to post anything loading because it's just a hot mission. But we got the car on the trailer. It's ready to go. I'm going to go to the shop. I don't think that I'm going to unload it tonight just because Steven's working on his 240 still. And this car don't run. It used to run. I don't know. Maybe the starter took a crap, but we're going to have to replace the starter. So I don't really want to take off the trailer if it's not going to be going right on the lift to get a starter done. But we're going to go see what's going on at the shop. So let me lock up and get out of here. That's crazy. All right, brother. All right. Made it to the shop. As you guys seen, I vacuumed it out real quick. Ugh, she's got so much wrong with her. But we're going to fix her up. But for right now, it was a hot mission. Steven had to finish his car, get out of here. We're going home. All right, we got the cars pulled out. I got the S14 on the lift last night. Just gonna go through a couple things. One, the battery acid ate the frame rail. When I went to pull it, it ripped that out, which sucks. It looked like somebody clipped the car here once and put a quarter on it, and also the frame rail, so that's cool. It does have welded diff, all the links. The gas tank seems to not be leaking right now. The rest of the car moving forward looks beautiful. We do have some disintegrated mounts, which is wild. The other one's like that too. You can see parts of it right there. Front end's pretty clean. I'm gonna start with one, swapping these mounts right now. And then the starter's acting up, so I'm gonna figure out what's going on with the starter next. We also have, this little lower control arms. I think it has some angle, maybe cut knuckles. I don't recall on this car. I'll have to see, but it has Z brakes as well. So it's got a couple good things. It'll probably be a solid drift car. Daily driver would be nice too, but it'll take a little bit. It actually has full interior and everything. So once it's all cleaned up inside, it wouldn't be a bad daily driver. It has the compressor here, but the compressor is cut. I don't think it has condenser. Oh, it actually has condenser. So this car could potentially have AC. That's crazy. But the compressor is shot. So if the lines work, that would be nice. But yeah, after I get all that done, we'll go ahead and give it a wash. So mission is fuel leak. So the mission today is fuel leak, motor mounts, starter. That way, if I want to move it, I can move it. And then after that, we'll be washing and cleaning the car. So I figured out what else is wrong. The other thing I would like to do is, you know, I hate when people run batteries like below the car. That's later on in life. That's not right now. It runs and hopefully it doesn't burn down. So that's where I'm at with this right now. But, all right, let me get this thing rolling. Drop the subframe a little bit to get some clearance, and I got the mount slipped in. It's almost there. I'll probably just have to pry a little bit, get it in, and then I could start on this side. I got the new mounts rested in. I had to unbolt this one a little bit more and bring it down, so this is always hard to get back in. My method's a little unorthodox. What I'll do is I'll tighten up these two, then I'll come back, lower this down, and then use the jack to lift this section up to get these bolts in, because it's, like I said, it's just a little hard. I maybe won't tighten this all the way, just like halfway. That way I got flex room or wiggle room for this side. So that's what I'm gonna knock out now. All right, mounts in, all done. I'll be moving on to the next step. Still working on my S14. I'm gonna focus on the starter. I got all the mounts in. The carbon's sitting, as you guys know, and it's a vented hood, so a lot of water gets on the starter. So I'm gonna start with taking off the starter and cleaning the terminals and see if we got any juice or if it cranks. And then I'll know if I have to swap out the starter with another one, which I think I got one laying around if my girlfriend didn't steal it for her car. And then I'll go ahead and put that one in if it comes down to it. I still got to charge the battery and everything like that. So that's just, like I said, a little bit later, but I'm going to start on the starter now. No, I was going to go get some water in a second. Yeah, as you can see here, it's super rusted. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up and then see what happens. And then eventually replace this beautiful wire they have under here. Here we go. We got the terminals cleaned up a little bit, looking much better. So hopefully it was just a connection issue. I cleaned up there and the signal wire. So let's get this in and see if we get it started. Starter is all back together. We're gonna go ahead and drop the car down, charge the battery, and see if we can get it started. Next will be the fuel leak. Nice. All right, we solved the start problem now with a good battery. I had charged the old battery, it still didn't work. I just, like I said, took one out of my hatch. So that's it for the starting. On to the next issue with this vehicle. What we're gonna focus on is fuel. Since this car has a fuel leak, when I last parked it, I'm pretty sure they had E85 lines and they started deteriorating and started leaking. So I did a bunch at the fuel rail. Now I need to do some at the gas tank, because that's where I seen it leaking. I already topped off the fuel. After that, I'm gonna focus on fixing this wiring that we have going on here. That's how I got the car. I think we found the culprit. Oh look, oh no, that's spider web. Go ahead, turn it on real quick again, one more time. Nice. Ain't that something? I knew that line was gonna leak. All right, I think the old fuel line is there. I'm gonna see if I could hook up to the OEM metal line, if it is still here. All right, so I'm gonna run to O'Reilly's real quick. I'm gonna grab new line. Since the old metal line is there, I'm just hooking up the regular line to it, and then I'm gonna put a stock fuel filter in it for now, because to upgrade it all right now, it's a bit of money and it'll take time. I kind of just want it running and making sure everything's working good, so I'm gonna start with that. All right, I just got back from O'Reilly's. I went ahead and swapped out the fuel hose. It is 225 PSI and it's E85, even though compatible, even though I'm going regular 93. So just so you guys know, O'Reilly's does sell E85 compatible line. I replaced the pump hose here, and then this hose. I went ahead and replaced the harness. They were starting to shave, so I cut them and reconnected them. Also, they did them backwards when they wired it, so they had to cut the connector to make it fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in, and I'll run the fuel filter and the lines, and then she'll be no more leaks. All right, guys, I went ahead, got the fuel pump in. I ran the stock line back on here for now. Once I get it all running good, I'll bolt this down somewhere and tape up all this harness. And I redid some of the lines and fixed the ground that was just like, you had to mush in there. No, that's not the kind. I'll show you. All right, let me go get the fuel filter back on and everything. So here is the steel braided line, which converts to a filter, and then the E85 line that's leaking. So where is the metal line? I seen it. So there's the factory metal line right there. So I'm just gonna put a new filter and everything on and plumb it to there. We got the fuel line ran, goes to the filter here, down to the hard line, so we won't have no more leak. This line looks like one of the older E85s, so that's probably one of the last ones I'll have to change, but it's AN, but I do have AN line somewhere around here. I'll go ahead and put in. So that's it for the fuel system. Next, I'll be focusing on the oil pan and oil change. Probably drop the oil pan down and hammer out a little bit, but that's it for this fuel system. Yeah, I got like 4 over there somewhere. So the fluid doesn't look bad. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and probably drop the oil pan because it has like a little ding here and I just want to hammer it out. And while I'm there, I'm gonna do an oil change on my S14. This is crazy. I found that stuck in the pickup, and the notorious, that must be the tensioner.
That's, and
then that's the shim.
You think it's a shim?
Yeah, that looks like part of the tensioner. But that's what we found in here. Lucky thing I pull it apart, and it does look like it got hit, and it's kind of flattened, and it's, you know, notorious for what they do. So I'm gonna take that out, get this all cleaned up, and put it back together. I went ahead and got this cleaned up. It's hard to tell, but I just used like a rubber mallet and banged out the oil pan so it has clearance. It comes with like 3mm from factory, and I went in and cleaned this up. So I'm gonna get some ultra gray in here and get it sealed up and see what's going on. All right, moment of truth. Let me try and get this out of here. Oh, the head, I can confirm, has valve springs and retainers. Holy shit. Valve springs and retainers and shit.
How'd you know?
I was just looking at it. There it is. That's what's broken. Nice. That's crazy. There you go. You got his crotch.
It did hit his crotch.
Yeah. All right. I had to stop videotaping yesterday because I couldn't get a tensioner. I couldn't find mine. I know I got another one here somewhere, but where it's at, I don't know. But we're going to continue on putting a tensioner in. My boy Mash hooked me up with his temporarily until I get him another one. And it's been sitting for a little bit, but it was like new on his one build. So I'm going to clean this up and get this put in. And let's see if this thing works. All right, I got the tensioner in. I just disconnected the cam angle sensor. I'm going to turn it over, let it, you know, we're going to just turn it over a couple times and then let the timing unlock. All right, we're going to plug this back in and start it and see what happens. I'm going to start this up, so be careful. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Let it run for a second before I rev it out. I need power steering for it. So right now it sounds healthy. We're gonna, you know, rev it up a little bit, make sure everything's copacetic. Sound good for a car that ain't ran in 2 years plus. So this is just like a random map that's loaded, you know, for the AEM, and it actually works good because the car was on the 85, supposed to be like 450 or some shit like that back in the day. So I just put it back all the stock just to get it running, make sure she's working. All right, we're gonna go test drive in this part in the parking lot real quick. Then we're gonna start cleaning her up. Let us see. Don't worry about my steering wheel. Oh, this bitch is out of gas still. I'm gonna have to get gas for this thing again. Wondering if the AEM works. It actually runs pretty decent. Okay, I can deal with that.